November 24, 1971. A man boards a plane with a black briefcase. Hours later, he vanishes into the night sky with $200,000. Never to be seen again. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, America's only unsolved hijacking. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more crime stories. The year is 1971. The location, Portland International Airport. Our man is wearing a black suit and tie, skid-looking, mid-30s, polite, soft-spoken. To the ticket agent, he gives the name Dan Cooper. He pays for a ticket to Seattle and boards Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. As the plane reaches cruising altitude, Cooper pulls out a folded piece of paper and hands it to a flight attendant. She reads, "Miss, I would like to speak to the chief flight attendant. It is quite urgent. Please hurry." Confused, she dismisses it, thinking it's a joke. But then Cooper leans closer and whispers, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." The stewardess turns white, and Cooper pulls his black briefcase closer to him. Inside, she sees what looks like red cylinders and wires. Cooper tells her again that he has a bomb. And if the pilot doesn't get him $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes, he'll blow them all up. The stewardess screams. Panicked, the captain gets on the radio and contacts the nearest airport. He needs help, and fast. At first, the FBI thinks it's another hoax, just like the countless others they've received. But when they hear about the passengers, 36 people on board, they realize it's real. The FBI agents scramble to put together a ransom. They send in an armored car filled with cash and park it outside the airport. The plan is to swap the money for the passengers. The anxious minutes tick by. The plane lands. Cooper gets the money, releases the passengers, and disappears into the darkness. 36 people are now safe, but one question echoes in their minds and in ours. Where is he? The man known as D.B. Cooper was born Byron Lee Bundy in 1931. His childhood was far from ideal. His parents divorced when he was 4 years old. His father remarried and abandoned little Byron with his mother and stepfather. And although his birth certificate lists his father as his next of kin, Byron had almost no contact with him. Instead, he had a falling out with his stepfather after getting into a fight with him. When he was 16, Byron ran away from home and lied about his age to join the United States Army. 2. He served as a paratrooper in Korea and jumped into combat 3 times. He earned many medals, including the parachutist badge, the combat infantryman's badge, and 2 Purple Hearts. When he left the military, he tried to lead a normal life, working as a lumberjack and attending college. He married 2 times and had 4 children. But his marriages failed, perhaps because of the demons he brought home from the battlefield. Alcoholism and gambling became his main vices. He started drinking heavily and lost thousands of dollars at the racetrack. Then, just as his life seemed to be falling apart, he got a job at the Federal Aviation Administration and moved to Portland, Oregon. He had a wife, kids, a steady income, and a house with a basement. Everything appeared to be going well. So why did he do it? Why did a man with so much to live for turn to a life of crime? We may never know. But we do know that shortly before November 24, 1971, Cooper took his life savings, bought himself a gun, and checked into a hotel room. There he wrote down everything he needed for his plan. How much money, how many parachutes, where to buy the gun and ammunition. The list went on. On the day he boarded the plane, Cooper checked out of the hotel and headed to the airport. His life savings were gone, but his plan was set in motion. He had a bomb, or maybe he didn't. Some believe Cooper made it himself. Others think he made it up. What we do know is that when he gave the note to the stewardess, he didn't have anything on his person except for a briefcase. His seatmate described it as dark brown, about 15 inches long, 8 inches long, 8 inches wide, and 5 inches high. On the day of the hijacking, when asked what he wanted written on the parachutes, Cooper said, "Red, blue, and green stripes, Thor." Perhaps he knew those colors would stand out against the stormy skies above Washington state. In the days following the incident, many theories and speculations surrounded the case. Who was Cooper? Where did he go? What happened to the money? Did he survive? Some believed he used the money to start a new life somewhere in South America. Others thought he spent it all gambling, only to end up back on the streets. Some even believed he was still hiding it somewhere, waiting for the right time to retrieve it. Years passed, decades even, and the mystery deepened. What the FBI didn't know was that by swapping the money for the passengers, they had actually given themselves a big clue. Every bill was marked with a fluorescent marker, making it easy to track, too. One of the most interesting aspects of the Cooper case is the fact that no suspect has ever been definitively linked to the crime. There were several copycat hijackers over the years, but none matched Cooper's profile. Several people came forward claiming to be him, but all their stories fell apart under scrutiny. One such individual was Richard McCoy, who successfully hijacked a plane in 1974. He demanded $5 million and 4 parachutes, just like Cooper. But McCoy was caught and sentenced to 20 years in prison. Another suspect was Dwayne Weber, who confessed to the crime on his deathbed in 2016. According to Weber, he and a friend hatched the plan while serving in the army. He said he bought the gun and bullets, rented the house, and chose the date of the hijacking. But there was a problem. No one could prove it was him. Despite his confession, the FBI dismissed Weber's claim, saying it wasn't credible enough. Today, the case remains open, and the mystery continues to fascinate people all over the world. What happened to Cooper? Did he escape, or did he die trying? The truth is, no one knows. What we do know is that on the morning of November 24, 1971, a man boarded a plane with a black briefcase, some cash, and a dream. That afternoon, he vanished into the clouds, taking with him the biggest mystery of the 20th century. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the case, stating that Cooper was most likely deceased. But that didn't stop speculation from running wild. What if he faked his own death? What if he's still out there somewhere, living under a false identity, hiding from the law? The possibilities are endless, and the intrigue only adds to the Cooper legend. So what do you think? What happened to D.B. Cooper? Did he die jumping out of the plane? Or did he land safely and live out the rest of his days with the $200,000? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more crime stories. Thanks for watching.